You see the little shit going. That's a video.
Forget the Spence thing. I mean, Spence knows he can't beat Crawford, and he's going to go up and wait after the Pacquiao fight. So forget that. So what's going to happen is Crawford's biggest fight out there, as I see it, is Josh Taylor. Maybe.
Those are the words of Bob Arum as he states that Errol Spence knows he cannot beat Terence Crawford. And the next biggest fight for Terence Crawford is Josh Taylor. Now, let me counterpunch. Those are the words from Bob Arum. Of course, you know. We know Bob Arum is with Top Rank. He's the CEO of Top Rank. He knows that Terence Crawford is one of his fighters, which he hasn't had a lot of good things or positive things to say about Terence Crawford lately in the last year and a half. Now, him saying that Errol Spence knows he can't beat Terence Crawford, I look at that, me counterpunching that, as an invitation only for Errol Spence to not talk, but after you and if you can beat Manny Pacquiao, excuse me, take that fight on. I mean, he's mentioned that he wants to fight Terence Crawford after that fight, or if he can't get that fight, move up and wait. I think with Bob Arum needs to take his head out of his ass if that's what Spence wants. We have to know if Spence wants it. Because if he doesn't want it, it's no sense of talking about it. You know, I mean, that's probably why Bob mentioned that. But then we don't want that to be a smoking mirror, right? You know, because a lot of times people can say, oh, they don't want it. And then the whole time it's themselves, that don't want to make that fight. You know, given that Bob Arum is set in his ways, being old as he is, and doesn't really want to take those measures to make a fight with Terence Crawford and Errol Spence. But that is the fight that everybody wants, and I think he should give them that, saying those type of things about Errol Spence. You saying a fighter, oh, forget about Errol Spence, he knows he can't beat Terence Crawford. I honestly think ego is a mother sucker, and because of ego and pride, fights don't get made. They blame it normally on promotional companies, networks, have you, promoters. I don't think it's that at all. I think it's all about pride, because when these fights want to get made and you have both fighters want to get them made, the fight will happen. You know, and I think it's up to Bob Arum. I think he should change the way he talks about his own fighter, the number one, or said to be the number one pound-for-pound fighter in the world, Terence Crawford, and actually start showing him some respect and start getting the fights that he wants to get. That Manny Pacquiao Terence Crawford thing was weird. Let's just be real. It was weird. It was a weird type situation where it didn't happen and all of a sudden Spence and Pacquiao's happening. So who does that reflect mostly? That reflects Bob Arum, not Terence Crawford. Okay, so if he's saying that Errol Spence don't want the fight, well, let's make damn sure that he doesn't want the fight before saying, oh, he don't want it and he's going to move up and wait, which Errol Spence did mention he was going to move up and wait. But before he did that, he did mention Terence Crawford's name. Now, do I think Terence Crawford can beat Errol Spence? Yes, I do. I think he's too talented. I think he has too much in his arsenal. And Errol Spence he's good at pressure fighting. He's like a bigger, talented pressure fighter versus Terence Crawford, slick, you know, counterpuncher. And then see, a lot of people like to talk about, oh, Floyd can't punch. Floyd can punch. You don't want to get hit with Floyd's punches. Those counter punches are fast, quick counter punches, and they will make you think twice about going in there and engaging with Floyd. And that's it. And of course, you couldn't hit him. Terence Crawford is similar, but he is a switch hitter, and I think he's far more aggressive. I think he's a beautiful combination between Floyd Money and Floyd Pretty Boy. So, but it sounds interesting to hear Bob say that, but I don't see Bob actually going forth with an effort to make that fight made with Terence Crawford. That's more than likely why he's bringing up the idea of forget about Errol Spence. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think about Bob Arum saying that Errol Spence knows that he cannot beat Terence Crawford. Tell me what you think. Please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.